So now that I've got your attention, I'm pretty sure you clicked this video thinking, what the hell did I do? Well, picture this. You sit down to watch the new Lion King movie. You hear some celebrities are in it, and it motivates you to book a seat. You grab some popcorn and find your seat, and the moment the reel starts, just know that you've broken down another piece of the Disney empire. You've taken a break from its built legacy. Dramatic? Probably. But metaphorically, you're killing it, and you are killing Disney. For your need to fulfill your insatiable craving for nostalgia, you just gone and bought yourself a ticket. Walt Disney had a dream. It was to be a visionary in whatever he did, to combine three major arts: cinema, music, and physical art, to create animation, to move the wheels of it and let it be taken seriously. But have we regressed? Yes, we have. I want you to look at these two pictures. You know what I instantly see? Expression. To connect with a movie, especially in an animated movie, you really need expression. Live action Mufasa looks like a lion. He doesn't look like he feels pride. He doesn't look like he needs to fulfill an insatiable urge to continue his legacy. He just looks like a lion you see from a documentary. However, 2D animation was a major pillar to the Walt Disney Company. All of Disney's work would hinge on a fantastic movie. But now, things aren't quite the same. Disney doesn't need to try anymore because they're so full of just green. Bob Chapek is hungry for one thing and one thing only: money. The decisions now being made in Disney are to generate more money than to indulge children with magic. Disney World prices have been soaring, and from a business standpoint, they're doing great. I'm just upset that you all still buy into these tired live actions. I want to point this out. This isn't just a Disney problem, it's a Hollywood problem. It's this fake pandering crap that everyone's hinged on, and they keep applauding it, and I don't understand why, because it disgusts me. Now, bear in mind, I don't hate diversity, because that's something that often gets conflated with my issue. So here's the thing. Guy Ritchie puts out a casting call for Jasmine. They specifically say they want a Middle Eastern woman. So I didn't respond because I'm not Middle Eastern. But I also wouldn't want Jasmine to be someone other than Middle Eastern. So who did they cast? A British Indian. I'm sorry, what? India's got nothing to do with the Middle East, and honestly, neither does Britain. Um, Jafar was horrendous and couldn't act to save his life, and Aladdin resembled the original, but that's kind of the only place he got praised for because, well, wow, that's very telling, right? You resemble the original product that I had a real nice emotional connection with. Good on you. Just watch the original? Why do you gotta watch a shadow of what's so fantastically magnificent? Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's a double standard to when it comes to ethnicity, and we want someone who's diverse. If you are putting so much importance in race and then you don't even pick the right race, how am I meant to take you seriously? If you can't even follow your own rules, why should I care about them? And this is honestly one of the reasons I can't invest myself in the live action Ariel or whatever, because I can't connect with the same old story but with just a black person. I'm sorry, but if you're a black person and you are incredibly proud of the fact that you're going to get a black Ariel, please don't be. Your race deserves so much better. You deserve your own story with your own mermaid. You do not need to rip on an established character to establish your point, to establish your race in this place, in this universe, in this world. You need your own mermaid. The thing is, I can think of a dozen new storyboards they could have used for a new live action Ariel or whatever they wanted to call her, right? Personally, I think that it's great. I think she's a really good casting choice, but I don't think Ariel should be the one. I feel like they deserve a different kind of mermaid. They deserve a different kind of story. It's the 21st century. Come up with an idea. But then I also take an issue with another point that people who say that, oh, you're against Ariel. This is what they usually say. They say, well, as I was growing up, I didn't have any black princesses to look up to. So I'm actually, my origin of nationality is just never represented in the media ever. And I have never had anyone who was my race or my ethnicity ever be famous. Honestly, I've never seen anyone who was in Hollywood and made it big here. And it kind of upset me initially, but then I thought, I have tons of Disney princesses that I love, and they are not the same race as me. Why would you want to be friends with someone who looks exactly like you? It's fine to have someone who's coincidentally the same race as you and you can maybe connect on that, but I find that I'm friends with people who like the same things I do and enjoy the same things I do and like me, or, just want to be around me. Entangled, for example, I really connect with Rapunzel. I feel like her joy and excitement is something that I like to have within myself. I love to have the ability to basically enjoy anything if I put my heart to it. And that's a quality I picked up from Rapunzel, for example. From Belle, I learned that maybe reading isn't as dull as I used to think it was. And it wasn't. It really did inspire me to get into reading as a child, and now I read all the time. My point is that you don't need representation. People like to say it's incredibly important, but what's important is that you connect with the character beyond just race. If everyone connected just with race, then everyone would be so divisive. Now, don't get me wrong, representation as a whole is not a bad thing. I personally think that Tiana should have maybe spent less time being a frog. But at the same time, I feel like that movie was already incredibly diverse and they explored so many cultures within New Orleans that I had never known before. Before I watched that movie, I didn't even know that jazz maybe had originated from New Orleans. I fell in love with the entire aesthetic of it. But I digress. If Disney just made global reruns, which they can, by all means go ahead, because it doesn't hurt the integrity of the original product and you still get your cash. It's dumb and pathetic that you can't come up with ideas, but hey, at least you're the cash cow of your father's dreams. We've seen Disney evolve from the dainty animation that was Snow White to the glorious product that was Cinderella. We then soared to the Renaissance, which is full of just magnificent movie after magnificent movie. It truly was spectacular. They didn't compromise on quality, nor on the actual animation. The Little Mermaid, Hercules, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, and so much more. I can't even fathom my life without these iconic movies. But I love them enough to know that the company, the legacy of Walt Disney, doesn't deserve this. We then dipped our toes in 3D animation and Pixar, Toy Story, to Tangled and Coco, all amazing movies by the way, which I recommend giving a watch. But then we also got Mars Needs Mums, which honestly deserves a video of its own. And then came the live actions. But Beauty and the Beast, the live action, was the one to put the nail in the coffin. Disney transformed into a disgusting, hideous shadow of itself, remaking its own past to redeem its now lackluster imagination. Now, I want to make this point. Not all live actions are completely awful. But Cynic, you just harped on how so many of the movies are horrendous and that if you wanted to buy a ticket to them, I'd be a numbskulled empty-brained twit. Yes, you would. However, the exception I'd make is Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring Brandy and Whitney Houston. And the next one is also Cinderella, directed by the wonderful Kenneth Branagh, starring Lily James and Richard Madden. These movies, although not worth critical acclaim, were so much fun to watch. They were transformative and provided a somewhat different and in-depth perspective. They're refreshing and fun, and definitely one of my guilty pleasures. Now, I want to make a very, 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 very tiny point. The reason I don't have a problem with Brandy being in Cinderella is because she in herself is incredibly transformative of the Cinderella character. I find that the singing is of a different style. It's not the same kind of singing that we always hear Julie Andrews sing, or even the old Cinderella. It is really nice and it's really fresh, and everyone is a very different race. It's a very colourblind movie, but I love it because everyone puts their all into their acting, and it's so much fun to watch. Seriously, watch it. It's the props, the set, everything, from the Queen to the son, who are just completely different races. It's wonderful and it's so much fun. I definitely recommend giving it a watch, but the reason I don't find it annoying or she shouldn't be black is because I find that they really do something different with Cinderella, something that I have never seen before. Brandy, Whitney Houston, and literally everyone in that movie is so talented that I feel like they would be robbed if they didn't do that role. I personally believe in colorblind acting. I think that if someone is good and up to the task, their appearance shouldn't really matter too much when it comes to acting. But I'm also a firm believer that you should stay close to what the established source material is. And that's why this whole debate always tears me from the inside, because I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to choose, but I just feel like when you make a really nice, diverse movie, you should have the right intentions going into it. Not going, oh yeah, black people will definitely buy into this, or Asian people will definitely buy into this. You want to go there because the actors are good at what they do. It's just a coincidence that it's diverse. Live actions are generally pretty lackluster though, and I'm talking about the music. Alan Menken's last movie was Tangled, and it really shows. Aladdin's live action music was awful and really flat. Naomi Scott is an okay singer. She's not awful by any means, but I found the music in Aladdin so simple. These were lyrics I could probably come up with as a child. Let's remind ourselves of some great Disney songs. First up is Part of Your World, the iconic Disney I Want song. It's glorious, it's deep, it's textured with amazing instruments, and every single instrument has a purpose. The flutes, for example, incite a mythical element, and the swelling of the synth, it's just so amazing to listen to. Jodie Benson does such a good job of capturing the need and ambition. Howard Ashman, rest in peace, did such a good job on it, and I'm honestly so blown away by it every time I hear it. Another song I really love is Mother Knows Best. Donna Murphy is immeasurably talented. The full song, and yes, there's a full song, check it out. It's absolutely amazing. I kind of wish they hadn't cut it out because it was such a good insight into Gothel's mindset. The song is riddled with emotive instruments, and it doesn't feel like just a song. It feels like an act, a real performance. Such a gem. Now let's look at Let It Go. I hate Let It Go. I hate that I know it off by heart too. Incredibly catchy, but not nearly in the same league as the others, and I'll tell you why. Let It Go was made after the storyboard, and the storyboard was changed to then fit Let It Go. Usually that doesn't bode well for movies. It is an undeserved song, and it doesn't have strong enough context to warrant such an emotion. The lyrics are also slightly babyish. They're simple and don't link to the story strongly enough. Whereas, if we look at Tangled, every song has a reason for existing and you're constantly reminded why in the song. Let It Go tries to make you forget that Elsa has made a very selfish decision, and somehow this is good? Yeah, screw Anna. I am free in my castle of isolation in which I will create sentient life and won't know how to sustain myself. What are you gonna eat? Ice? The songs in the live actions piss me off so much. Casting singers as voice actors has almost always annoyed me. Voice actors who can also sing are alright. However, I cannot invest myself in a mediocre performance with outstanding vocals. 85% of the film is shitty, flat acting, and the rest is singing. I hate the amount of runs and ad-libs that all these singers do. It ruins the song. Look at Ariana Grande's performance of I Won't Say I'm in Love. I personally like it a lot. It's very nice, so well sung. However, I wouldn't want this in a movie and would much prefer the movie version sung by Susan Egan. I like it because it's got a lot more emotion to it. There is a difference between emotion and belting. Egan was a great conveyor of Meg's aggravation and frustration. It was fantastic. I love that song so much, it's incredible. The muses are also magnificent. Such a beautiful feature. I also want to mention that the artistry of music in The Princess and the Frog, oh my god, Randy Newman is a global treasure. I want to make a part 2 because there are so many movies out there that are gonna get sequels and are gonna be essentially ruined. I have to talk about the Beauty and the Beast live action, but Jay Longbone, I think that's how you say it, explains it perfectly because it is so god-awful. Emma Watson is not only the worst actress, but she's also the worst singer. Girl sounds like a bloody microwave with a rose being jammed inside. I hated her character in the movie so much. I'm not even gonna go through all the points, but do not cast a person as a princess if she can't sing, can't act, and only looks good because the Harry Potter fans and basic boys got happy to see her. It's disgusting. Such a horrific waste of money. You could have made a really good movie. You just need to take a risk to make an inspiring story and some beautiful, wonderful music. But no, shame on you, Disney. Shame on you. You've stolen magic for generations to come. I'm only getting upset because people who made real, inspiring magic like Hercules, Tangled, Mulan, and so much more aren't working with Disney anymore. I just see the pandering remakes and cash grabs, and it just angers me. It makes me so upset. If you really love Disney, you won't buy the tickets no matter how hard they pander, no matter how cheap they make them. Rise above. There's people out there like Don Bluth who made Thumbelina and The Swan Princess, and Gary Goldman who are trying to rejuvenate this revolution, but they need a bigger army. You can change this. Do not support them. You deserve better. This isn't what Disney would have wanted, and you know it. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm sorry if it got a little heated. That is not my intention. Leave a comment. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like the video, dislike it, or maybe just not do anything at all. That's fine. Leave some constructive criticism. I want to get a nice microphone. I'm using a Samsung right now, but I'm poor, so I'm gonna have to stick with this until I get an upgrade. I'm also thinking of making a video on Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated, and I hope that sparks some kind of nostalgia. But I also want to talk about how good it is and how we should all petition for it to come back. Anyways, it was great to see you guys, because this is my first real video, and I'm kind of nervous, but thank you for checking it out. It really means a lot. Okay, I'm gonna leave because this is getting kind of long. Bye!